and welcome. My name is Alyssa and I am going to take you through a hip flow to help you work on your hip mobility and stability. So I want you to start on one side. I want your right foot in front, left foot in back, and you're going to be in kind of this 90-90 position. And then from here, I want you to switch to the other side. So now your left foot's in front, right foot's in back, and you're just gonna keep doing that back and forth. You can bring your hands behind you if you'd like. Good. And this is a really good movement that I do to warm up my hips before I do other activities or go for a run. Good. And just kind of pay attention to how both sides feel. Is one side tighter than the other, or are they both pretty symmetrical? Okay, now I want you to stay here on this side, holding here, breathing through this. Try to square your chest forward. So instead of twisting, try to open up this way. Holding here. On the inside of your left knee, I want you to push into the mat. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Now push on the inside of your left heel. Hold 3, 2, 1, and relax. One more time. Push in through your knee, hold 3, 2, and 1, relax, and then push in with your heel, hold 3, 2, 1, relax. Take a couple deep breaths. Good. And then switch to the other side. For me, this side is my tighter side. Try to square your chest to the front and then push through the inside of your right knee. Push, hold, 3, 2, 1, relax. And then push to the inside of your left heel. Push, 3, 2, 1, relax. And just breathe. All right, one more time. Push in through your knee, holding 3, 2, 1, and relax. And then push in with your heel, hold 3, 2, 1, and relax. And just breathe. Oh, hello, buddy. And now let's do a couple more of those hip waves that I like to call. Hopefully this is feeling a little bit easier. It's feeling pretty good. Good. One more time. Awesome. And then I want you to stay in this position, kind of readjust. So you want that front hip to be at that 90. You might need to bend this knee a little bit. From the front of your hips, lean forward so you have a nice straight back, and then lift your hips up. Good. And then sit back and lower down. If that's really difficult, use your hands to help you up. Good. We're gonna do 8 more. 7, 6, 5. Hopefully you're really feeling those glutes work. 4, 3. Remember to really sit back in those hips. 2. Last one. Up. Slowly lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, switch to the other side. Readjust. Front of your hips, lean forward. Remember that nice straight spine, and then lift up. Hold, and then sit back in those hips as you lower down. Use your hands if you need to. We got 9 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, hold it here. Lower down to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Let's do a couple more hip waves to really see how our hips are feeling now. Good. I can definitely feel my hip starting to loosen up now. Good. All right. Make your way to tabletop on your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes. And I want you to have a nice straight spine with a slight arch in your lower back. And then you're gonna shift your butt back and then forward. Notice how this is pretty much a deep squat, but you're just on your hands and your knees. Yeah, hi. If you're having trouble with this, maybe put a little extra padding under your knees or roll up a towel and place it behind your knees, and that will help to open up your knees. Good buddy. Thank you. Good. All right. Now I want you to keep your toes tucked and then sit up just like this, so you're sitting on your heels. Keep your toes tucked under. This is going to work on opening up your feet. And then again, if this hurts your knees, take a towel and place it right behind your knees. It feels amazing and it gaps that joint. All right, so while we work on our feet, let's take a minute to release our necks. So I want you to look down towards the ground. Slowly roll your head so your right ear is towards your right shoulder. Drop your left shoulder down. Keep making your way back as you're looking up towards the sky. Roll your head so your left ear is to your left shoulder. Drop your right shoulder, and then continue with your circle. Do that one more time, going slow. It's okay if you feel popping and crunching. Well, it's not okay, but it's normal. And the more you do this and the more you use your neck range of motion, the less you'll feel that popping and that crunching. Good. All right, now what I want you to do is untuck your toes, sit back, and then lean back just a little bit. This is going to stretch the top of your feet. We're gonna do neck circles again, but we're gonna go the opposite direction. So start with your left ear to your left shoulder. Drop your right shoulder. Slowly bringing your head back. Good. Ear to your right shoulder. Back to the front. And one more circle. Awesome. All right, let's go back to tabletop. And I want you to inhale as you reach your right leg forward. And then exhale as you bring it through. Good. And then walk yourself up. So you're kind of in this lunge position. And then I want you to tuck your tuck your pelvis so your lower back flattens. This is usually the only time that I recommend doing this kind of butt tuck, but it really helps to release that left hip flexor. So from here, if you don't feel a stretch quite yet, you can slide forward just a bit. Good, and hold here. You can reach your left arm up towards the sky if you'd like. Good. All right, and then we're going to shift forward 10 times. So I want you to shift forward just a little bit and back. We're gonna do that 9 more times. Good. This is a great way to bring hip extension to your body, getting it used to this movement, and it should feel pretty good. 5 more. Last one. Good. All right, coming back to tabletop. Inhale as you reach your left leg back. Exhale, bring it through in between your hands and come up to this lunge position. Tuck your pelvis. And then find that position that you need till you feel that stretch on the front of your thigh. There are 2 different ways that you can round or you can flatten your low back. One is by squeezing your butt cheeks to get your lower back to tuck. The other is to use your abdomen in kind of a crunch position. And this is the way that I want you to try and do this stretch. So relax your lower back, use the abdominal crunch just a little bit, engage your core, keep that glute nice and relaxed, and then shift forward. Good, we're gonna do 10 of these on this side. We're at 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Awesome, back to tabletop. And then I want you to go onto the ground. We're going to do a bridge now. So I want your feet directly under your knees, so you should be able to touch your ankles. And then I want you to squeeze your butt and lift your hips. And just kind of get a feel for what muscles are working, how this feels. Okay, and now I want you to lower down, and I want you to squeeze your butt cheeks together as hard as you can 10 times. Squeeze. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now squeeze your glutes again as you lift your hips up. And take a mental note, see if you feel your glutes working more now. This is how I want your glutes to feel when you're in this bridge position, all right? So keep squeezing, lower your glutes down and back up. Awesome, and down and up. We're gonna do 20 to 25 of these right now. If you feel like your form starts to compromise, take a break, do a couple glute squeezes, and then come back when you're ready. All right, we're at 10. Really try to get that full hip extension. Good. All right, we're at 18, 19. I'm gonna be nice, we're gonna do 20. Hold on 20 though. Hold up as high as you can, and then do little micro pulses here. Your glutes might be burning right now. That's a good thing. You'll thank me later. Keep pulsing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Take a break, draw your knees to your chest. All right, good. And then I want you to come on up. Good. Now we're going to do a deep squat. So some people can just go right into a deep squat like it's no big deal. Other people have a harder time. I'm one of those people. So I have this half foam roller. You don't need a half foam roller. You could roll up your yoga mat. You could use a towel, or you can even hang on to a door handle to help. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna put my heels on it, and then I'm gonna sit in this deep squat position. And depending on your body's anatomy, your squat might look a little different. Some people have to have a really wide stance. Some people's toes have to come out. It's all different, but the more you work on it, the easier it gets. And you might end up finding that you can start to change the way your deep squat is. I talk about deep squatting quite a bit on my Instagram, and it's so important for so many reasons. If you watch a little kid, crawling and learning to walk, they're in this position all the time, and it's so easy. So we had the capacity to do it, but through our life, through sitting, through school, some of us lose that mobility to do this, and the more you work on it, the easier it will get. Good. So now I want you to take your right knee, and I want you to bring it out to the side. So it's just getting a deeper hip stretch. Good. And then do the same thing with the left knee. And then one more time. And then the other side. Good. All right, so we're gonna go back to the quad stretch. We're gonna do that whole sequence one more time. So I want you to bring your right foot forward, tuck your lower back using your core, shift forward until you feel a stretch and hold it here. And it's okay to readjust too. After you've settled in this position, you might notice that you can go just a little bit farther. And that front knee, you want it to stay over your heel. So if you end up going further forward, then just walk that foot forward. Okay, so we're gonna do something a little different this time. I want you to lift your back heel up. This is pretty intense, so if you do have sore knees, you can do this shifting one again, or try it and see what happens. So you're gonna lift your back leg up and relax. Good. Really try to keep your pelvis tucked. Okay, one more. Good. And then reach back if you can and hold on. You can use a strap as well if you can't reach your foot. Awesome. All right, other side. Tuck your pelvis, flattening your lower back. Shift forward and hold. Good. All right, lift your back heel up. Notice if one side is easier or not. Good, reach back. So of course, the first side we did was a lot harder for me, but that's also the hip that is tighter. So it's so good to just be aware of your body and your tension, where you hold tension, so that you can work on it to help prevent future injuries. Okay, good. All right, now let's go on our back and we're gonna do some bridging again. Squeeze those glutes, lift your hips, do a quick assessment, make sure that you feel your glutes working. If you don't, lower down, do 10 glute squeezes, and then start bridging. We're gonna do 20 bridges again. Try to squeeze your glutes the whole time. Awesome, we're at 10, halfway there. We're at 17, 18, 19. Hold up on 20, hold, and I want you to pulse up. Keep pulsing. All right, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Draw your knees to your chest if you need to, and then come on up. All right, one more deep squat. Hold on here, or I'm using this. And because now I've been opening up my hips, my knees, my feet, I feel like I can go a little bit farther. So I am walking my feet forward so my heel isn't quite as lifted. You can open up one knee to the side, and the other. Maybe reach an arm up over your head. Good. Good. Hold here, take a deep breath in. Exhale. And then inhale as you stand all the way up. So we can't talk about hip health without talking about standing position. So what I want you to do is find your hip bones and put your hands right inside of those. And then line up your feet so they are in line with that. Good. And then I want you to shift your butt back so there's slightly more weight in your heels than your toes. Good. And then grounding your right foot, push your right foot in or down until you feel your left hip start to elevate. This work is coming from this hip and you won't feel anything in that left lower back. Hold here, shift your butt back just a little bit more. And then I want you to tap your left foot on the ground and back up. Good. If this is too much, just balance. Hold. Good. All right. Place that left foot down. Ground your left foot. Push it down to the ground until that right hip elevates. Hold. And I want you to take your left hand and go onto the left side of your hip and feel that muscle working. This muscle is so important for when you're walking and you're running, keeping your pelvis stabilized. Hold. Slowly lower your right foot and back up. Remember, all the movement is coming from this muscle here. Good. Hold here. Awesome. Let's do that one more time. Ground your right foot, push down as this left hip elevates. Hold. And then lower that right or your left foot down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding here. Good. All right, and then switch. Ground your left foot, push down until your right hip elevates. Hold. Remember to shift your weight back so it's slightly more in your heels. Lower your foot down and up. Got 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Awesome. All right, we are almost done. Let's go back onto the floor, onto our hands and our knees. We're gonna do frog pose. So walk your knees out as wide as you can. Feel free to position yourself this way on your mat. And then try to bring your heels in line with your knees. The most important part though is that you have an arch in your lower back. And so if that means staying up on your hands, totally fine. If you feel like you can go a little deeper into the stretch, come down to your forearms. Remember, the most important thing is that you have an arch in your lower back. Oftentimes when I teach this pose, I see people in this position, which isn't actually doing what you want it to do. So I'd much rather you be up here and feel the stretch than down here in this position. Okay. And then from here, can you lift your right heel up? Hold and lower it down. Then do your left heel. Good. And just keep going back and forth. Awesome. Let's do one more on each side. Hold up. Good, relax. And last one, hold up and relax. Good. So to come out of this, kind of come forward and then bring your knees together. Push yourself up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, and we're just gonna do a quick down dog because we're gonna transition into our last stretch, which is pigeon pose. So inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, send your foot through so your right knee is with your right hand. Walk your back leg back. Take an inhale as you prepare. And then if you can, as you exhale, feel free to come forward just a bit. Should feel a nice stretch on that outside of your hip. If this is too intense, you can stay up here. You can take a towel, a block, and fill that gap. We're gonna hang out here for a little bit and just pay attention to your breath. Try to slow your breath down and use your breath to go to any spots that are tight to help release them. Tuck your back toes. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, place it down. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, swing it through. Lower it down. And just kind of adjust as needed. Inhale as you prepare. And exhale, feel free to fold forward, making any adjustments that you need to serve this pose for your body. Slowly coming out. Right toes tuck under. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, down dog. Take a couple seconds here, pedal out your feet. Good. And then come on down onto your knees. So that is my first hip flow of YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any comments, subscribe, share with your friends, and hopefully in a week or two I will release another one that will add on and maybe progress some of the exercises. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.